Okay, given transformation u equals x squared, v equals x plus y, given a parallelogram in the xy plane and asked to find the shape of the corresponding region in the uv plane. And then I'm going to maybe extend this a little bit, talk about what the Jacobian tells you and so forth. Okay, so the line from the origin to 1, 4, of course, has the equation y equals 4x. Okay, that'll be this line. This line is very clearly y equals x over 2, debating about 1/2 x and x over 2. Okay, now this line is shifted horizontally 4 units from this one, which means that we could replace x by x minus 4, okay, and then shift it up 2 units. And I believe that comes out y equals 4x minus 14. We can check that out. If x equals 4, 4x minus 14 is 2. If x equals 5, 4x is 20 minus 14 is 6, so that works. Okay, and this line is shifted over 1 unit and up 4 units. Okay, so this should be y equals quantity x minus 1 over 2 plus 4, which is 1/2 x plus 7/2. Now let's check that. If x is 1, 1 plus 7/2 is 8/2, which is 4. If x is 5, you have 5/2 plus 7/2, which is 12/2, which is 6. So yes, it all works. So here we have 4 equations. Equations of 4 line segments. So the question then is, what's the equation of the line, or of the curve that connects this point to this point, corresponding, of course, to this edge of the parallelogram. Okay, well, y equals 4x. We want to change that to u and v. Well, let's see. X squared equals u, so x is the square root of u. Let's write it out. Okay, well, u equals x squared, v equals x plus y. Okay, so from u equals x squared, we get x equals square root of u. Now it's actually plus or minus square root of u, but we're in the first quadrant and we're going to be in the first quadrant, so we're not going to worry about the plus and minus. I'll just say we discard the minus in the first quadrant. Because if x and y are in the first quadrant, neither u nor v is going to be negative. Okay. Okay, anyway, then v equals x plus y, so we can replace the x with the square root of u. So y equals v minus the square root of u. Now, if we have the equation y equals 4x, we can write v minus the square root of u, excuse me, equals 4 times the square root of u. So, thinking about how much algebra. Okay, so we get v equals 2 square root of u. And then, something's wrong. Yep. This is 4 square root of u. Again, I'm checking, okay? If u equals 1, then v equals 5, and that corresponds to the point 1,5. So what's the shape of the graph between here and here? Well, it's a square root graph, you know, shifted or vertically stretched by a factor of 5. So it's going to be like so. It starts out very steep, and I started out stage too steep. Anyhow, it's going to go like this, but of course, after we get to this point, it's not going to be part of the boundary of this region, okay? And then we can do the same with the others. Y equals x over 2. Implies that v equals I believe 3/2 times the square root of u, and that works. If u is 16, square root is 4, and 3/2 of that is 6. So that works. So we have, again, something in the shape of a square root graph. Okay, then, what about this equation? Okay, y equals one half x plus 7/2 becomes, after just a little arithmetic, v equals 3/2 square root of u plus 7/2. In other words, that's just going to be a vertical shift. And it's not 7/2. Wait a minute. Yeah, it is. Okay. So you're going to have, and I wouldn't say a startling lack of foresight, because nothing I do startling. It's an error, that is. Okay. And I guess I'm going to have to get rid of my 1,5 here. Okay, so we're going to let's be sure. We should get the 0.15. If u equals 1, yeah, we get 10 as it's 5. Okay, so it's going to start very steep here. It's going to just be kind of parallel to this, except it's not. Okay, I want to raise this 3.5 units. So I want to raise this to about here, and then it's going to be pretty much the same shape. So I'm just going to do a couple of dotted lines here, and then it's going to take over the shape here. It's going to go over and connect here. Now similarly, you can probably expect this is going to be shifted over. Now let's write it out. Let's see it clearly. Okay, y equals 4x minus 14 gives us v equals 5 square root of u minus 14, which means we have this shape. It's starting down here at negative 14, coming up and being concave down and connecting these 2 points. Then we can make an estimate of the area of this figure. And of course, we can easily find the area of this figure. Okay, so we're going to continue that and relate this to the Jacobian just to give us a good picture.